Hey, this is David Bendeth, and you're checking out my signature preset pack for the STL ToneHub plugin. The STL sounds that we originally made are now available in plugin form, and I am personally really excited about that. I think it's incredible, and this way they're going to be available to everybody. From the minute we started talking about this plugin, it was always something that was going to be something I couldn't wait for to come into existence. Obviously, the technology with anything takes time. What I was excited about more than anything was the ability to use so many different amplifiers, speaker cabinets in combination with different mic placement and certainly chains of EQ to exactly encapsulate the sound we were getting in the studio. What people can expect from this pack is maybe something a little bit different with the analog part of this, because certainly we recorded everything to half-inch tape, and so there's a warmth, a texture to a lot of these sounds. And I feel that these tones capture certainly a lot of the sounds of the records I've made, but I feel that it's a really good overview sonically from clean to sort of semi-clean to dirty to filthy metal of the tones and the settings that we've worked on. Those tones have been intrinsic to a lot of the productions that I've made. In the past with this pack, it had a personality, but it was more of a personality of the technology, of the sound of that moment. Now things have changed, and this has parametric value, which it never had before. In other words, it is the sound of the amplifier, whether you're working with the bottom, the mids, or the top. It gives you the ability to hear it exactly as if it was coming out of the amplifier. My favorite advantage of this plugin is the ability to go from vintage to brand new at the same time. But I love the option to be able to change those speakers, to be able to change and move those microphones, and to be able to jump between different amplifiers just to get a live ambient sound that typifies what that amplifier brings from a personality standpoint. Every amplifier over the years has always had a very distinctive sound. And it's one thing to be able to just capture it in the studio, but it's another thing to be able to take it wherever you want, whenever you want. One thing about this pack is that we did spend some time recording bass, getting some great bass sounds. I love the idea of the analog sound that we have to tape with the bass. I think it gives it something that's a little bit different. And it gives you that added bonus with this pack to be able to also record a bass without loading anything else in. As a guitar player, I'm probably pretty particular about my guitars, my strings, my amplifiers. And one thing on this pack we were able to do is name the guitar that was used, obviously the amp that was used, obviously the speaker cabinet that was used, and the microphones. But it gives you a really good idea of everything working in concert. And I think that the guitars were very important to me because they all had a very specific sound when using them with the amplifier that gave you more of a broad range from clean to dirty about what you should be using, as opposed to guessing what guitar was used. I feel that this plugin is an amazing tool for lots of different kinds of players. Certainly anything from the young student in college learning music, or even somebody at home making demos, somebody making records. It gives a really great cross-section of sounds at your fingertips. And I love the fact now that there's so many different pedals involved that you don't have to go looking for anything. And the application goes from absolute amateur to absolute pro in every way. I've spent all of my life playing guitar, and I've tried to play many different styles of guitar, from soul, R&B, jazz, rock, metal, whatever it is. And I really feel that this pack that we have is for all sorts of different kinds of guitar players. And when I made it, that was very important to me, to be able to give this to different styles of guitar and make it authentic to whatever they were going to play. So that's something that I'm very proud of, and I hope that people use it that way and not limit themselves to one genre of music.